Hello, stream. Hey up. What's going? What's shaking? I do apologise. It is very warm in the studio this morning, so I have the window open and the fan on. So hopefully you don't hear it. You just woke up. Hey, Chris. Well, good morning. Good morning to you too. It's actually no. It's just past morning here. It's 12:03. So technically, you've woken up in our afternoon. But yesterday, I woke up at 10 to 12. I needed such a sleep, and James doesn't like me setting an alarm, so. Well, I woke up earlier and then I fell back to sleep. I know people say like, well, you must have needed it, and it's like, yeah, I did feel particularly great yesterday, but I hate losing part of my day, you know. Woke up at 5 a.m. because of work yesterday. Oh, boo. Boo. Boo work. Boo. Why do you have to wake up so early for work? Vant was up at 3 a.m. She does the night shift though, doesn't she? She does like the evening shift. Doesn't she? She only does late. From what I understand, from what she's mentioned. You work 6:30 till 3 p.m. What, at a haunted house? Do you have people at a haunted house at 6:30 in the morning? She does nights, but sometimes mornings. Oh, that's fair. Fair. It's the nature of shift work, isn't it? It's nice, but sometimes not nice. And then sometimes it's just not nice, and then sometimes nice. Oh, your factory job? Oh, okay. Okay, cool. For some reason in my head, I thought that you were just like a haunted house actor, like, all the time. 24 hours a day. Ugh. Well, we're doing some art today. Carrying on with our Winston drawing. Is that like your fun job then? Because I always had when I was working when I was doing shift work in retail, I used to work at a shop called Lush. And before that, I worked at a shop called Class Olson, and I always had like a fun job, and then like a job that paid the bills. They were not. The two were often mutually exclusive. Just gonna drop my levels a little bit. Apparently I'm talking very loud today. Who knew? It's definitely a fun job. Yeah. You need a fun job, especially if you've got a boring day job. You've got work that pays the bills. I can't remember who said it, but like you've got work that pays the bills, and you've got work that keeps you sane. It might have been me that said that. I might be quoting myself. This is how I like justified not getting a proper job for a long time. Right, I need to collapse that. We're gonna ink this sketch today, so I'm gonna chop this out. Control C. I need to figure out how to do the keyboard shortcuts without looking at the keyboard. I used to be able to do it, and then I switched. Oh, look at the screen tearing. Oh, you can't see the screen tearing. That's interesting. Screen tearing. Well, that's Cintiq. Let's do new. Go in at A4. There we go. Stretch it. We need to hold Alt while we do that so it stretches. That's the time. We'll draw it at this size. Ink it at this size. Lock that layer. Do you have another fun job for when you're not doing the haunted house thing? Does that not happen like once a year, or is it like a greater than once a year thing? I don't know what brush to use to ink this. I don't want to paint it because the style of Overwatch is not very painted. What do I have with summer brushes? Ooh. Ooh. Oh, I like that. It's a lovely brush. Look at the graphic effect on that. Lovely. I have to save that in my brain for later. These summer brushes are really nice. We have Haunted House September through October, and then Christmas and Valentine's. You have a Christmas and Valentine's Haunted House? How does that work? Wow, look at that texture. Oh, that's gross, and I love it. That's a beautiful one. Slashy brush. Ooh, lovely. Slashy brush variant. Ooh. I love that texture. My word. I'm getting distracted. We don't want a texture brush, we want a... Nice. This is like a watercolour thing. I haven't used watercolour yet in digital, just because I can watercolour pretty well in traditional media. Oh, halftone, nice. So you do this and that, see? And then I'm controlling the strength of the tone with pen pressure. Nice, classic comic book. Are you particularly busy in the winter season? For Haunted House stuff? This one's called Charcoal. Ooh. Oh, zine liner. Nope. Oh, that's cool. Right, so there's nothing in summer. Free flow brush. Oh, that's lovely. Ooh, love that. Bash brush. Inca, here we go. Yes, mama. Might still be a bit clunky. No. Let's see. Give it a try, can't we? We pretty much do a scary Christmas thing and then normal scenes for Valentine's Day. We'll make it scary as much as we can. Surprisingly, yes, people love our Christmas haunt event. We actually had a YouTuber come through, which I'm in the video, though you wouldn't know it's me as I'm wearing a mask instead of our normal makeup. Oh, okay. How do they decide what day is a mask day and what day is normal makeup day? Is it like, oh, I have a spot today, so I'm not going to... Don't want to be seen. Well, this brush is interesting. It has a thick and a thin angle to it. See it? See how it's like thick, thin? Huh. I'm sure I'm going to be able to use this though, because it's hard to tell which angle is the thick line and the thin line. Let's experiment anyway. Let's not say no right away. Do you get to decide on the day, like, no, my skin doesn't do makeup today? Because, you know, I used to do a lot of drag, not so much these days, obviously, thanks to the pandemic, but, you know, there was some times when, it's just, I like this brush, it's just a little bit too unpredictable with the fact that it's got an angle to it. Like, I can see it there when I'm using it, and it's creating some really nice lines. But the unpredictable angle isn't right for this piece. It'll be right. It'll be right at some point, but not for this piece. Inky Shedder. Oh, see, that's way cool, but I can't do line work with it. Not for this piece. I might just have to ink with a normal, standard, boring ink brush. I hate using generic. That's an eraser. That's not good. What was the... I could ink with that, actually. We wouldn't have any of that dynamic pressure stuff unless we did that. It's usually the same day every year for all three. It's usually the same day every year for all three during season. It's usually Friday, Sunday, and the other two are just usually Friday and Saturday. Sorry, it might just be because I'm thick. I'm not really able to follow that. It's usually the same date every year for all three during season. It's usually Friday, Sunday, and the other two are just usually Friday and Saturday. So do you mean like the regular show is 3 days and then the Christmas show is like 2 days? Is that right? Possibly could have done this brush searching off. Oh, okay. Oh, well, I understood you there. That's fine. I possibly could have done this brush searching off stream. But then, you know, you miss out on the joys of me figuring out what to do. Let's just ink this the same way we did with the other one. Control by pressure. We'll just ink it, and then if we don't like it, we'll delete it and do it again. I haven't failed yet. I miss doing drag. I'd have to buy all new makeup now. It's been so long. Makeup has expiry. It does wear off after a while. Makeup wears off after a while. Obviously it does. I don't know. And that's not round either. It's hard to get the perspective when it starts zoomed in. Not that I'm an expert when it comes to perspective. Look how wonky that line is. It's a fine line, isn't it, between zoomed in, smooth, and zoomed out perspective. Will do. This is just an initial ink trial. I'm more than happy to redo my work. I think this needs recalibrating. One moment. I think it's getting time for me to upgrade my hardware. Right. That's recalibrated. Because that looks wonky as fuck, and I can't blame the sketch layer for that. The pressure and the lines are going absolutely nuts. It might be a hardware issue, unfortunately. It's hard to know what to justify though, in terms of what I buy, what to prioritise and all that. Brother flies out, I think, next week for Brandon. Ooh, exciting. Is he excited? Is everyone excited? Has he been to the UK before? Does he know what to expect? I don't like those. Come back to that. Hey Thers! Yes, I'm jolly well. How are you? How are you doing? Yes, we're inking the Winston that we did. Oh my god, I can't see my cursor anymore, and it's not appearing on the stream. I never knew how debilitating this would be to not be able to see my cursor on the Cintiq. Hang on, let me try and turn it off and off. One sec. Turn it off. It's so weird to me that I can turn the Cintiq off and then turn it back on. Oh, heard that. And it, like, hopefully reconnects again. How are you getting on, Thers? I'm sorry, I haven't been able to catch the stream in a while. That's weird. The mouse cursor appears when I press down, but it doesn't actually appear at all. Oh, this is like a new art experiment to see if I can be a good artist when I can't see the mouse. Maybe the mouse was holding me back the whole time. Oh wow. Oh wow, okay, no, that's a bit too chunky. I think what I'm going to try and do with this is try and do it in like a graffiti style, because it's like a skater portrait. Also, do let me know if the audio sucks, because I've had absolutely terrible trouble with my audio recently. I think I've fallen in love with Winston as a character. I can hear you and the music clearly. Well, that ticks all the boxes, doesn't it? Audio sounds great. Really well, thanks. And same goes for me. Things are getting pretty busy right now with deadlines coming up, and hopefully once that's all over, I'll get back to joining wherever I can. No problem. How's the uni work going? How is it? I'm guessing you guys are still in lockdown, or have you gone back to like regular in-person classes? I'm not sure how I would have coped on my course, because I did a performance course, so you know, kind of have to be there. But then I'm sure that there's stuff that they could have done. thing with line smoothing is sometimes it's a little bit too sensitive. And it kicks in when it shouldn't. We've gone back in the past week to practical sessions only. It's reduced group sizes, etc. though. Okay. I'd probably appreciate that more. I mean, I'm making an assumption here, but I don't know, I just feel like when it was a lot more... The classes that I had that were a lot more intimate, I just enjoyed them more. I think maybe because it was easier for me to get the attention of the lecturer and feedback could be a little bit more personal. It didn't feel as rushed because, like, especially for like a practical session, you kind of have to, like, they have to get through everyone in turn. I'm currently painting loads of fruit. Not what I expected to be doing this semester, but it seems to be the path I've taken. Oh, how do you feel about that? Are you enjoying yourself? That's the main thing, isn't it? That's why I switched to performance, is because I was studying psychology and I realised I was not enjoying myself at all. And actually I want that to stick out a little bit. Maybe a little bit further down, on line with this kinda. To give the impression that the beard is on the other side of his face. It's so hard doing this level of detail, like zoomed in, because then you zoom out and you go, oh, that's awful. Like, you get to here and you're like, oh, wow, his beard looks way wrong. Like, this bit here is really, this bit here. I can't show you with the mouse because we can't see my pointer anymore. Oh yeah, the small group sizes are actually great. Yeah, I thought so. It's pretty good. I just wanted to practice form and colour, and I suppose that having one thing to focus on has really helped me. Yeah, that sounds really cool. I mean, like, look at Van Gogh, right? Didn't hurt him. Oh, this isn't going to work. Maybe it's just me. I just look too busy on one side. It is the side that's facing away. Maybe if I just take this down a little bit. How does that look? You know what? I'm focusing too much on the detail already. I need to let's get on with the piece, see how it looks, and then start tweaking. How's that? We did that a lot. Well, I mean, I say we, like, I studied that in college. For a period of like 6 months, and then I stopped. So I'm not even an authority on the subject. I just really like drawing shit and painting shit. No, that doesn't work. I like the look of the kind of the 2 strands, but I'm not sure I can close them. Don't think it works as well. Also, I don't want it rounded. His hair in Overwatch is not. It's not round like material, it's solid like typical anime hair, I suppose. And it does contour his face quite well. So let's move that line there. God bless you, Winston. Big hairy gorilla. Hey, college education is just as valid as any other, no less of an authority than anyone else. Well, thank you. I like to think so. I don't think being an autodidact has held me back. Well, I suppose it can't really hold me back because I've always sought my own employment when it comes to art. Like, I've never really I've always kind of danced to the beat of my own drum. Like when I did freelance projects, they were always, you know, I decided what I worked on, and I was able to I was able to go with whatever I thought was going to be fun or do my career some good, like the book that I illustrated. Alright, let's leave the face for a bit, because we'll have to let that simmer. Let's just finish off the helmet. And then that's the head done. I might come back to the face, do a bit more detail. There we go. I remember I used to be on a website, I'm not sure, I think it still goes, but it's not Fiverr, but it's something similar to Fiverr. It's oh, I can't remember, you know, it's somewhat like pay per hour or pay by the hour or something like that. It's very similar to Fiverr, except you had a profile on there, and you just outlined what your hourly rate was, and then you kind of had products on there, but it was basically, I can do this in this many hours, and this is what you'll pay. So it's like, it's commissioning for freelancing, but it gave users freelance marketplace, kind of like that, except it gave users a definitive price for a definitive product, which is what you don't normally get with freelancers, because it's always, you know, it cuts out the negotiation part of it. Oh, what was it called? You know what, I'm just gonna quickly... People per hour, that's what it was. I don't know if it's the same thing. I'm just going to pop the link here, just for everyone to have a look. I don't know if it's the same thing, but basically when I was on, it was for any freelancer, and you could you put a profile up there, you put samples of your work, and you said, I can illustrate a full-page comic in this many hours for this much money. And if it was something that you're good at, like something that you're really good at and can do... Oh god, my mouse has properly disappeared. No. Oh no. Okay. If it was something that you're good at and you know you can knock it out. So like for me it was, you know, I put up that I could illustrate comics really quick, because that was my gig. And I got quite a lot of attention from that, and actually Viv Grant, who was the author of the book that I illustrated, that's where she found me. She saw my profile and she really liked my style of drawing, like my doodle style of drawing. Oh, you know what I might do? I might do his hair sticking out of the hole in the helmet. So that's a good place for someone who kind of wants to start dipping their toes into maybe paid freelance work. One thing that I never got to do before I kind of left the freelance gig was getting an agent, and that's actually something that I wish I did. I wish I'd got an art agent to cut all that out for me and just find me the work, because you know what bogged me down a little bit when I was freelancing was the amount of time I spent on admin was time that I wasn't spending on doing like the stuff that I love, the illustration stuff. That's wonderful. Yeah, she's really, really sweet actually. Viv is a head teacher. Thickness on that line. I went a bit giddy there, didn't I? She's a head teacher. Actually, she was a head teacher for a number of years, and then she decided to write a book on how to be a better head teacher. So it's like a head teacher's guide to head teaching. And a lot of it, interestingly enough, I learned quite a lot, because a lot of it is stress management. A lot of it is calm your ass down, head teacher. Like that. And when I was working on the book, I'm just like, I was illustrating a lot of like diagrams and, you know, concepts, like illustrating concepts like Maslow's theory of learning, for example, which at that point I'd never run into. And I was like, damn, head teachers go through it, don't they? That's the worst sticker in the world. Winston, why did you stick that sticker to your helmet, you silly monkey? We'll come back to it though, I'm just gonna leave it there as like a laugh. Let's do some of these. The problem is, when inking, it's really easy to fall into the trap of wanting to ink everything relative to itself. So like with this, for example, because it's a patch, I might want to put these lines in, and then patches have these lines all the way around. But if I put too much detail into this tiny bit, and then I look at it on the sleeve, which is largely, like this area of the sleeve is largely empty, and it kind of would be, you don't really see patches on these parts of the sleeves. So if I have like loads of detail on these badges and then nothing, I'm drawing attention to this area, which I actually really like the look of his hands. So I want to put more detail onto his hands and onto these cuffs than I do on these badges. These badges are just a bit of flavour. So even though I could go into detail there, the reason I'm doing a really thin line weight and doing it really wonky is because I actually don't want people looking at these areas. And I'm not going to put a lot of detail, I'm just going to put enough detail that people understand that it's a patch. And I haven't decided yet what part of him is going to be lit, like if it's going to be front lit or not. We had someone come in to talk yesterday about agencies and their benefits / costs in illustration. Definitely seems interesting. And you must be super proud holding your work in a published form. Must feel really good. Yeah, it did. It was a moment. It was that moment where, okay, from now on, no matter what happens, no matter what I go into, and obviously I went into design and UX design, and I kind of stayed in the creative field, but I don't illustrate professionally enough. But I'll always have made a book. Like, I'll always have illustrated a book. And, you know, it's on Amazon. My name is in the cover of the book. It says illustrated by Cy Watt. Which is really nice. Thank you, Sash. Don't like that. I kind of lose the shield shape. I think that's probably the excitement of when it comes to like having a gallery show as well, is that, you know, once you've had a gallery show, no matter what you go into, if you figure that that's actually not something that you want to continue to do, you'll always have done a gallery show, you know, you'll always have done a viewing. And then at some point, you might do another one. Then you'll have done 2 gallery shows, and your portfolio just kind of builds up like that, doesn't it? Like, I have... I'm not sure if I should talk about this on stream. I have... there's a line of products that I have designed that I could never tell anyone about, because it's very much embedded in the kink community and it's still very much taboo. So, and these products are sold worldwide and they're very, very popular. I can't tell anyone about it because of the stigma behind a lot of kink stuff. And as soon as I do tell people, particularly people who are rather vanilla, they go, "Ooh, what is it?" And I'm like, I'm not going to gratify your ogling, your kind of vanilla straight person ogling of the kink community, because that's what straights have done to queers forever, is that they've just You know, there's a lot of criticism about prides around the world because straights just use them like zoos to look at what the gays are doing, and I don't subscribe to that mentality. So the first thing that people ask whenever I say I have designed a line of kink products, they say, "Oh, what is it? What's the kink?" And it's always like, "Nah, I'm not going to gratify you like that." When you see your name, and when your name is on the cover, I was immediately like, of course, it'll say illustrated by Kohbah D. I forgot people have other names, as well as their usernames. That's fair, I think that's fair. To be honest, I slipped up by giving my first and last name, but I only have 2 viewers, and nobody ever watches my VODs, so I'm not too worried about that just yet. But yeah, I'm very happy with the work that I've done so far. I'm very happy with my illustration profile and my design profile. And I'm not done. Still got plenty of work to do. Like, now I'm adding art streamer to my ever expanding Rolodex of roles. As are you know, like, I'm not sure how often you were doing your art in front of other people before, but now that's something that you've got under your belt. I don't really know what to do here. Unless I just do more fur. I think I probably would do more fur. I like the idea of him being topless under his hoodie. Or maybe he'd wear a vest, actually. I think Winston would probably wear a vest. But the hood of the hoodie would actually gather, because Winston's head is quite big. So thinking in a practical sense, the hood would be like more there, I think. That'll do for now. We'll leave it like that for now. We'll leave it a confusing mess. That's a good idea, isn't it? That's something I hadn't thought about, but I suppose, yeah, creating work in front of an audience is quite a different experience. Hey, listen, like, it's all performance. So my degree is in media and performance, so this is very much my wheelhouse. I feel very comfortable in front of a camera, and I'm the kind of person that misses it, to be honest. So the reason I started streaming is because I missed being on stage. I was back in Manchester. I was a comedy improviser. I did stand up for a while, and ironically enough, some of the people who are streaming now and who I'm enjoying their content on streams, you know, I've gigged with, and I do miss it very much. And drag as well. I used to do a lot of drag. So I was thinking about getting into streaming for a long time before I actually did. And it kind of... Oh, can you hear the dogs? Can you hear those dogs barking? My neighbour's decided he wants to breed dogs. So he's got them in the garage outside. They're pretty things. 2 giant German Shepherds, 2 giant Alsatians, that have made a total of 3 puppies so far, which are all very adorable. And honestly, the fact that they're adorable means that I'm a little bit more willing to put up with their barking, but they bark at all hours of the day. Particularly at 7 AM. That's an hour they particularly like to bark at. I can't remember what the head of safety pins look like. Whoops. Okay, I knew it was something like that. I knew it was something like that. That's so funny. Do you ever have that in your head where you're like, hang on a second, I've seen this a million times and yet... Right, time to do the arms and the hands. Can't avoid it anymore. I hate doing any kind of anatomy that I can so obviously get wrong. You kind of want the thick strokes to be the thing that people look at. You want external thick strokes and internal thin strokes. And then when you play with that dynamic, that's when you end up getting that really juicy detail stuff. Don't worry, you can just play any bad anatomy offers stylistic choice. I had to stop doing that years ago because it stopped me from getting paid. Simple object, you look over it and you don't fully absorb. Yeah, exactly. Which, I don't know if you get it, but I get moments in my life where I actually take stock of those things, where I'm like, oh, actually, this looks slightly different. Like, the other day I was playing Red Dead Redemption, and it's probably not a great example of this, I grant you, but like, I was looking at how horses look, and I was like, huh, they've got like this really muscular breastplate that's almost divided in two at the front. Like, strong workhorses, they have these two giant muscles on their chest that go under, like in between their thing, and I'm like, oh, that's so cool, what else can I see? And I noticed like the kind of the solid knuckles in their back legs and stuff. It's just, I was like, huh, you look at a horse and you think, I mean, artists have struggled drawing horses for years, haven't they? So I shouldn't really say like, oh, I was surprised at how difficult a horse is. I shouldn't be surprised. But it just struck me how, like, if I was asked to draw a horse, I would not be able to draw a horse. And I think that's why when I started my original Winston stream, I actually started looking at gorillas, because I realised I've never drawn a gorilla. And I think that's the way that I'm going to go now, particularly if it's a character like, can you imagine like Banjo-Kazooie or something? Or if you wanted to draw a Roadrunner and you actually looked at what a Roadrunner looks like. It looked totally different from Banjo-Kazooie. You're always learning, aren't you? I do it all the time. I get distracted easily by small things and end up analysing every detail. The amount of things you look at, and after a while they fail to look like the things that they're looking at. Yeah. It's like when you hear a word repeated and all of a sudden it loses all of its meaning. You suddenly realise how unusual the word is when you're saying it, and then all of a sudden you're like, well, now I can never say that word again. I really like with anime how sometimes they just drop the lines completely, like they just have like a gap in the line there. Makes it difficult to ink, but I really quite like it. So this is a bit that I want people to notice, so I'm going to actually do slightly heavier lines around the cuffs. gone a bit wonky on purpose because these things aren't supposed to be straight, are they? That'll do. The word start does that for me. The more I think about it, the less it makes sense. Start. I agree. What's your favourite word? There's a theory with words where some words are intuitive, and it's actually because of where they are in the body. I can't remember whose theory it was. There's a book that I read once, and I can't remember the author, but she spoke about the history of dialect and accents and where they come from, and she used examples from England. So she talked about like the Birmingham accent, for example, about Brumei talking hard. They talk as if their nose is blocked, like their accents are always like down in Black Country, where that's where the Industrial Revolution started. So Birmingham was almost always like thick with smog, and that's the idea behind where the Birmingham accent comes from. And Manchester is really tight in the jaw because they all live very close to the Manchester Ship Canal in a very windy part of the country, which I thought was very interesting. I didn't read the whole thing. I don't want anyone to assume that I'm some kind of academic. Come on, Cinti, do this. You know what it is? I've just realised. This cuff is too steep. It needs to go in like this. Alright, leaving that there for now. I might go and change it in a bit once we've finished, but I want to move on. Black Country Living Museum is grand. Oh, I've never seen that. You're from the Black Country, oh that's cool. I've got, I used to have quite a lot of friends in Birmingham. And I never got stoned with them, but I was always around them when they were like getting stoned and just having foods. And they were always like, "Are you having a biff?" That's so funny. And so lovely. Like, they were such lovely people. Very family oriented. You know what? I calibrated this thing and everything. Don't like those lines at all. At all. And I know I said a moment ago we'll come back to those, but turns out I can't leave well enough alone. because this is at risk of getting a bit muddy now, like with the erasing and stuff. That's a little bit better, but it needs to blend in. Just a little bit more. Right, you know what? Let's leave it there. Doesn't have to be perfect. He says for the umpteenth time. Where is the Black Country Living Museum, by the way? That sounds cool. Wow, he's gonna have hairy hands, isn't he? That's really messy. We'll leave it as that though. It's just in Dudley. Dudley. Used to do newspaper wrapped in chips, but now I think they're in box. Ah, I used to love newspaper wrapped chips. I feel like the ink gave them something, you know. Poisoning, probably. But damn it, it was our poisoning. These lines would be thicker. Because technically the hand is the closest thing to the viewer's perspective. These won't do. Gorillas have like these really chunky fingers, like big chunky chipolata fingers. So he wouldn't have hardly any space in between fingerless gloves. Poor Winston, he must have to get like custom made gloves to get over his fat hands. I have large hands, but I don't have fat hands. They're really quite skeletal. I used to have like lovely, I used to have like lovely chunky hands, but now I've got like this. You can't really see them, but they're like old man's hands with like these bits are all like emaciated and stuff. I feel like Tales from the Crypt Keeper. It's funny. I'm not conscious about my hands. I think it's a laugh, but I think I started looking at my hands when I carried a lot more weight. I was like, I used to have lovely fat hands. And that's not to say that I'm small now, but apparently the weight decided to distribute elsewhere. It decided to think, no, you don't need fat hands anymore. We'll just give you an ass instead. Which, to be fair, makes sitting more comfortable, which is great for streaming. Let's get rid of this line as well. bring this up, and then down, and then let's put this finger ahead of this finger, because this one will be bigger, technically. These are very rough lines. I think I might actually go over these lines with a different ink brush. Not a terrible weight distribution. Yeah. That's alright. I'm getting older. I'm still the smallest in my family, so. Well, excluding kids, obviously. I'm not going to compete with them. In young bodies. So instead of going up, the little finger's actually going to go around the back a little bit. He says, and then immediately draws it up. Sometimes the sketch layer throws me the fuck off. Like that. It's going to be on a different lateral line to the others, and smaller. See, that's better. Like, more tucked under than out. Even though I don't think that's what gorillas do. I think they prefer to splay their little finger out. I think it's just that, and also this would be slightly in front of that finger, so you wouldn't see that line. Lovely. Lovely jubbly. More padding for the sitting. Yep. I can sit through a whole mass. You can put me on any wooden church pew and I can stay still. Not that I step foot in churches these days. Although having said that, I think the last time was a funeral. Which you kinda have to, unfortunately. I like to think of myself as hardcore enough to be like, nah, fuck you, but then you have to respect the wishes of the dead. It's kind of a combination of respecting someone's final wishes and showing face to certain family members. Which is another thing queer people probably have to do more so than most. Oh, the forward and back. I can't adjust the forward and back on this Cintiq, so I've managed to tighten every single bolt in this arm, so it's really stiff and difficult to nudge. But the forward and back, where it just goes like that, awful. Oh well. Bad workman blaming his tools. What do you use for drawing, Fish? I know you use Krita for software, I mean more the hardware. I don't like how the line of that string follows that beard hair. X Pen 10. Ooh. Hey, check it out. Oh, you might not be able to see it because it might be mirrored. X Pen! X Pen glove! The cheapest tablet I could find with a screen. Yeah. Fair. The reason why I have an X Pen 10 glove is because my workplace asked me, when I suggested, hey, you know these illustrations that I'm doing for the company, I could do them so much faster at home. Instead of letting me work from home this is before the pandemic, instead of letting me work from home to start these illustrations, they were like, we'll just buy you a tablet. I'm like, I already have a tablet at home. They're like, yeah, but we'll just buy you a tablet. I'm like, okay. If you don't want to waste the company money on that, then fine. Be my guest. Oh, when I left that job, I stole the glove. The gloves are pretty comfy. Yeah, I quite like it. I like how I can slide across the tablet. What I did before I managed to steal this glove, because it is quite small, I'm not sure if you can tell, but like, you can see in my palm, there's like a gap. That's because my hand's so big. If I was to get rid of that gap so that it just falls flat, I actually can't because it's my fingers that are pulling the glove apart, but come on, don't like that. It just always rides up my hand. But before that, I just got a pair of £2 gloves from H&M or Primark or something, and I just cut half of them up. And they were fine, but my hand got very sweaty. Because obviously, gloves are designed to keep you warm by default. They're not really designed to be used on Cintiqs. I don't want these lines to be too strong because there's some stuff around them that I want to be pulling more attention. In fact, let's just get rid of that and redraw it. I want Winston to be wearing a trans rights badge. I feel like Winston would be well on board with that. Blizzard maybe not, but Winston surely. Although having said that, Tracer's gay. Don't know. Feels a bit like lip service after all that Hong Kong business. There we go. Look, that's pretty comfy. I managed to pick up a new graphics card, so hopefully I can play some different games scene. Oh, marvelous, well done. I say new, it's a 280X from 7 years ago. That's enough for you. Hey, listen, 7 years ago, you'd still be able to play some pretty awesome games. Like, Overwatch is... How old is Overwatch? What was Overwatch, was it? It's older than 7 years, isn't it? 2016. So that's 5 years. But still, Blizzard are well known for making their games as playable on, not cutting edge technology. So you might still be alright. What kind of games do you want to play on stream? What kind of games are you interested in? Because like RTS, for example, you could play loads of RTS on an older graphics card. You know, like Civ 5? I absolutely adore Civ 5. I've not streamed it, but that's because games tend to take a long time. Also, all of my friends are bumming off Civ 6 at the moment, so... It's 150% better than my integrated graphics. Yeah, that's fair. Apparently, so we'll at least take a load off the CPU. And maybe an upgraded old CPU will help things run smoother. Yeah, for sure. Love Civ 5. I suck and turtle like hell, but it's so much fun. I don't know what turtling is. I don't really have strategies for Civ 5, I just kind of keep going and try and be as nice as I can. I don't think I've ever won a game of Civ on an aggressive victory. I've never won like being a warmonger. Just tweaking those lines because that Overwatch logo doesn't look right in the sketch layer. It still doesn't look right, but it'll do. It's a hoodie, it's supposed to be wonky, it's fine. I'm surprised, like, are you streaming on integrated graphics? Because that's pretty impressive what you've managed to do. Like, the quality of your stream, you wouldn't guess it was integrated. Especially the way in which you've managed to tweak Overwatch to run. Like, I know you say it runs on bad graphics, but maybe it's because it's streamed that, like, the compression makes it not a big deal, but it seems really okay. Like, you don't notice at all, and it's very smooth. That's not the problem here. This is. I might have to shrink the rubber down, I think. For more detailed work. Turtling. Turtling is a strategy in games where you tend to stay in the same place but build up your defenses really strongly. Sometimes expand but extremely slowly, hence turtling games. Okay. That makes sense. That makes sense from more of a Command and Conquer StarCraft kind of thing. I think maybe with Civ it's always like small and strong, but then you have to build up either your religion or your media, like later on your influence, and get like an influence victory. Yeah, integrated graphics on a 2400G. I've done a lot of messing around with games to get them to run smoothly, and it's a really good integrated GPU. It's just not quite enough for me. Oh, that's okay. That's fair then. That's fair. I've actually been thinking about getting a dedicated streaming laptop to take some of the pressure off of Matilda. Matilda's my computer's name. Because like if you look at my specs on my Twitch page, like this is a good computer with good components. I upgrade it very, very often. I can run games like Red Dead Redemption that was released in 2020. That runs really smoothly. But other games, I'm not sure if it's just the optimization of the games. But like Final Fantasy XIV that was made over 10 years ago has a lag issue when I stream it. Games like Overwatch, which is really fast paced and does really quick rendering, no problem. Games like Assassin's Creed Valhalla that was made last year, games like Red Dead Redemption that was made 2 years ago, no problem, smooth as hell. A 10-year-old MMO lags, and I do not know why, because I can see on other streams and other streamers they've got the game running smooth. So I don't know what's wrong, but I'm thinking like, well, if I have a dedicated streaming PC, maybe that'll help. Might be worth a shot. Would the other computer just deal with the encoding? Yeah, exactly. So it basically at the moment, like my machine's a workhorse and it can handle. Like here I've got a bunch of browsers, I'm streaming, and I've got Photoshop open. And sometimes I've even got a game on in the background. And it can handle that no problem, you don't notice any lag. It's just certain games. I'm not sure if they just multi-thread, because I have like a huge core on my computer. It might be that they're throttling all those cores kind of thing. I don't know. But that's one possible solution. But it'll be a while before I upgrade that because I want some nice monitors. I think monitors are going to be my next big purchase. I always upgrade in stages. Because who can afford not to these days? Why is it when I draw a line, I can't draw another line? Additional monitors. So I've got the Cintiq here. I've got the stream on a portrait monitor, which is none of them are high def. Well, they're HD, but they're not 4K. And that's a portrait monitor. I've got the stream on next to my main monitor, which has the camera on, because when I'm playing games, I want it to look as though I'm looking at the camera. And then over here, I've got my work laptop, my Dell laptop, which stays closed until I'm working because I try and keep that work-life separate. Separation? I nearly said separation. With the other computer too, within encoding, yes. Perhaps Final Fantasy 14 is very CPU bound, and if you're using a couple of cores to encode as well, then maybe that's why it's slowing it down. I think I do have it CPU encoding just because I have the horsepower to do it. I think that's what I do. I could have a look at it, but it's always a trade-off, isn't it, between, bandwidth and system resources. What the hell? Come on. Right, I'm gonna have to make this rubber smile, I think. Damn it, it's either not hitting the line at all, or it's just taking too much of it away. Because I want it to be a slightly, a weak line, basically. Used to have a 3-monitor setup. They were old Dell monitors, 4x3. But now I bought a cheap 21x9 ultra wide, and it's done the job of all of them combined. See, I thought to myself that I prefer to only have one monitor and have everything on one monitor, and that's great if you're using multiple programs that use different windows. But if any one of those programs runs better in full screen and takes up the full screen, you completely lose all the windows. So, my main monitor is it's a 27-inch monitor, and it's slightly curved. It's got a slight bevel to it. The color's amazing. I absolutely love it. The only problem is, because it's slightly curved, it doesn't have mounting plates at the back, so I have to have it stood on the desk, which means I need a riser to raise it up because I'm quite tall. And I can't mount it to other monitors. Like, I can't have other monitors on a mount to save desk space, because the space is a premium to me. I don't think I'm going to get another curved monitor, to be honest. Because, like, any game that runs in windowed mode takes up a lot more resources than it needs to. If you run a game in full screen, it just runs better. And Final Fantasy is a prime example of that. If I run Final Fantasy in windowed borderless, it lags like hell for me and for the stream when I'm streaming at the same time. If I run it in full screen, it doesn't lag at all. But it means that certain other software I don't then have access to because it's taking up full screen. So that's why I went in to have the different, like, multiple... Oh, thank you for the follow! The Dark World. Not The Dark World, The Dark World. Which actually sounds very normal. Yeah, so that's why I went for the multi-monitor setup. I've got one monitor which is... I can full screen games, and that's fine, and then I'll stream it, and that's fine. And then I've got this other monitor where I can kind of see the stream. Could still do with maybe one more for stream chat, but that might be in the distant future. Welcome to the stream. Thank you. Sorry, I've just been chatting and not been drawing. I got distracted by talking about tech. We're just talking about streaming setups, Thirsh and I. What about your phone, Thirsh? Do you know that there's a stream? If you get the Twitch app on your phone, it has like a stream manager thing where you can monitor the chat. I don't use it. I've got a Stream Deck here on my little tablet. Where I can turn the camera on and off, and I can also turn my filters on. So if you wanted to hear my voice really high, I can do that. Just here to listen and draw. Oh, no problem, no problem. I'll shut up. I'll let you listen to the music. I always have my Piano Ghibli playlist on whilst I'm drawing. My partner James always makes fun of me because my playlist has like 100 songs on, and that's it. And he's like, "Oh, you listen to the playlist?" Because I only have one as well. I just have my favourite songs, and then that's it. But I'm the kind of person where I can make a playlist of like 4 or 5 songs. Oh, you're here to listen to me. Oh, thank you very much. I shall try and be educational, and not talk crap. Yeah, I have a playlist of like 4 or 5 songs that I listen to on repeat whilst I'm working. If I'm not listening to a podcast, that's what I'll do. I'll just listen to the same 4 or 5 songs on repeat, and every time I hear the song, it's like it's the first time I've heard it. I never ever get bored of it at all. My partner James always makes fun of me because I'm the same. Like, when we get in the car, I'm the only one that drives. When we get in the car, when we go anywhere, and I'm like, I want to listen to my music, and he's just like, oh, okay, that's fine. And he doesn't hate my music, but I think he hates the fact that I always listen to the same thing. And it is usually crap. I have a terrible taste in music. I feel like my taste in music is so bad that I could probably play it on the stream, and Twitch probably won't say, hey, that's a DMCA. They'll probably just go, oh, you still listen to that, are you? I have been using my tablet, but the Twitch app is terrible, unfortunately. Ended up just opening Twitch in Safari. Downside is I have to look down every time I see the tiny chat window. Yeah. It's not handled great. You can, if you're using OBS, you can put the chat window in OBS. That's what I do. That's why I'm looking at the monitor now, because I've got my chat window in OBS. I don't have it open separately. Oh, the Dark World. Follow Thirsh. Thirsh also does artwork on stream, and Thirsh is possibly the most wholesome streamer I have ever watched. She is just an absolute lovely being. Cannot recommend highly enough. Thirsh is the tea. If you like watching artists do like digital artwork, Thirsch is there. But Thirsch also does traditional artwork, like painting and such. Although I'm not sure I've seen you do it on stream yet, Thirsch. Did you have plans to do like any like traditional painting on stream with the camera? Because that would be so awesome. I would love to watch that. We just for some context, we're doodling Winston from Overwatch. We've designed a skin for him, like a skater skin, which will never exist because Blizzard aren't very community oriented, but it's fun to imagine these things, isn't it? Oh, thank you. If you want to see actually good artwork, then Kohbah is definitely the one to watch. Oh, look at us complimenting each other. Can't stay for much myself. As wholesome, I got a 3-day ban on Twitch. What did you get banned for? What's the tea? I want to know that. I love me a badass. I think if I get banned from Twitch for any period of time, it will be because I've accidentally put a song on that somebody owns. I have the parts now, I just need to put it all together. Ooh, that's exciting. I am excited. I love watching traditional artwork. Is that going to look all the way down? Yeah, actually that's not going to look too bad. This is someone drawing a zip from someone who has clearly never seen a zip in their life before. I was drawing lewds. Oh, it's in the guidelines though. But Twitch hates artists for sure. Maybe I should just be a streamer instead. You know what you should do? You should draw nudes whilst in the hot tub. Really piss them off. I wonder what the line is though. Like I used to do a lot of. I'm quite open about it. I used to do a lot of kinky artwork, and it paid pretty well. I'm not gonna lie. And I'd never do that on this, obviously, because you kind of have to keep your vanilla and your kink life separate for professional reasons. But I always find it very interesting that, you know, especially when it comes to kink, what can or cannot be considered lewd. Yeah, it's because you'd be pulling in too much money for them. That's why they wouldn't ban you. That's what Twitch do. They're very heavy with the ban, I think, when someone isn't pulling in enough revenue. They're getting further apart then. Let's try and corral them in a little bit. When you get a ban on Twitch, do they just slap your hand and say you can't watch streams or something anymore? Or is it like you can't stream streams anymore? Is it like a streaming ban or a complete service ban? I ask because I'm curious. I probably will get banned at some point. Especially like my I've got a social gaming stream that I do on Saturday evenings, which is like Jackbox, Among Us. We all like. Some people might have a drink, some people might have a joint, so they'll be like drunk and high, and it's just such a funny time. It's really funny, but it is absolutely not safe for work at all. Like, it's not for kids. And like, I am firm on the rule of no racism, homophobia, or transphobia on this channel. I don't want to cover those, but some areas it's like, well, that's kind of free game. Not outside of those areas. For example, there's like a running Madeline McCann joke on the stream, which, I mean, I don't think she watches the stream, so I'm not going to crack down on that. And I work with a lot of comics that have some very interesting humour. can't log into your account. Oh, so this is like a temporary account. Oh, that sucks, man. Man or not man, I should say. Sorry. those are the two genders. Man or not man. Well, you're more than welcome to stay here and enjoy this. I'm going to be streaming until 2. It's another half an hour. I was thinking, or rather hoping, that I'd get this entirely inked today so that we could colour it today. But then I actually want to spend a bit more time colouring this one because I think we're going to play around with some different styles. What are different styles actually? Like I want to do cell shading, but I kind of want to combine cell shading with painting, which I've done in the past, and it looks really good and dynamic. Oh, look at that zip, guys! Fucking A. That'll do. That'll do. Okay, let's do the toggle, and then we'll go and do this bit, and then we'll tackle the last arm. the last arm, the other arm, not the last arm. The final arm. Always push your lines, don't pull your lines. And if you can't push it, turn it. That's great. I'm happy with how this is turning out, I have to be honest. So, one thing which I don't mention often is that I have a weird thing in my brain when it comes to drawing, and I think it came from the fact that I used to do illustration professionally. Well, when I say professionally, is that, you know, like you take a queue, like you'll have like a queue of commissions, especially if you're in like the furry community, you're doing a lot of furry art, then you'll have a queue of commissions or YCHs or stuff like that. I listen to music based on what I'm drawing, and I'm kind of liking what I'm hearing. Oh, cool! This is just a YouTube. If you go to YouTube, type in relaxing piano Ghibli music. This is an hour and a half worth of piano Ghibli music. I absolutely adore. I adore Ghibli and I adore piano. I think I missed it. Is this going to be another sticker or just some lovely artwork? I think this is a bit too detailed for a sticker. Stickers normally I would make them very small. I can't. Well, actually, maybe I'll show you here. So let's have a look at the stickers. Yeah, so normally if you have a look, stickers would have like really bold black lines on them, and then they have this white outline so that when you pop them on the stream, like this salt sticker, you can't see my mouse cursor. The salt sticker, for example, has a really chunky, thick black lines, so that next to the white it kind of stands out. Same with like the bear stuff with Cash, Viking Energy. What else has those lovely thick lines? Probably nothing else. But like that's the white, for example. I really like this sticker. It's because it's got like a little bit of detail. But then also, they'll only appear like this size relative to what you're seeing on the screen now. They'll only appear this size. So if you compare the salt, you can't see it. If you compare the salt sticker here in the top corner with the lines that are on That's a Wipe, you can kind of tell that there's lines there, but you lose a lot of the detail. So with something like Winston, like this would appear that big on the stream as a sticker, so you'd lose a lot of the detail. That's why stickers and emojis, you can kind of design a sticker, and a sticker can always work down from sticker size to an emoji size. Grand. But you can't really do illustration as a sticker because then the illustration... Yeah, see, there you go. So it's like relative. If I shrink Winston down to like the same size of that sticker now. You see how it's sort of... I can't move the screen over. Unfortunate. You see how you lose quite a lot of that lovely detail that we put in? Oh, I think we've switched over to Disney Piano. That's nice. I haven't listened to this playlist in full yet because obviously I just keep putting the Ghibli playlist on repeat. So we'll see what this is like. Also, hopefully by the time I stream tomorrow. Oh, I do art on Saturday and Sunday afternoons. The Dark World, just in case you're around tomorrow. So whatever I don't get done on Saturday, I finish off on Sunday. Except Sunday is usually even more of a chill vibe because it's the day after my social stream where I go a bit silly. That makes sense. Designing for the intended use. No point adding detail if it's too small to see. Yeah. And like there would be nothing stopping me if I wanted to. So you see like Winston's head here. That would make a good sticker. I could snatch the head, snatch the lines of the head. Depending on how we colour it, I might just be able to snatch the whole thing. Put a white line around it, and that would be a decent sticker. Similarly, if I wanted to use Winston's silhouette, because it's quite a well-known silhouette for people who play Overwatch, I could do it that way. But you can't just directly go, shrink it down, make it work. It's like if ever you've designed icons for web or mobile, I should say. There's a difference between an icon that you see inline and an icon that you see in a menu. And a menu icon normally is about 24 by 24 pixels. You can get a fair amount of detail in there, and you might double the size for a Retina display, but most of the time it's SVG anyway these days, so they're dynamically generated rather than rasterized. Which means that when you have a pixel's the smallest thing that a monitor can display, 1 pixel. Anything less than 1 pixel, the monitor kind of has to do some anti-aliasing to display it. But design programs like Illustrator, for example, they allow you to draw things smaller than a pixel. So how's that going to look? Well, they end up looking blurry and fuzzy because the computer doesn't know how to display it. That doesn't look right. It needs to be more like this now. That might be a bit too much detail, but we'll have a look in a minute. Yeah, so vector graphics are just beautiful. I agree. I love vector. So the icons that I've got at the moment for my redemption rewards, they I can't show you because it would mean adding a screen in OBS, and I don't want to do that just yet. They're made in Illustrator. They're the ones that have like the really clean, flat colours. And I was thinking of redoing them hand-drawn, just because that's more my style. Like, I love hand-drawn stuff. It's always the trial with the different kind of art that you do, and you're like, well, I can do it all, but which would fit the use case for this? And normally, if it's an icon, I will make it in vector graphics in Illustrator. And I was like, well, this is an icon. Like, that's what they are. So, so I made them in Illustrator. But then I'm like, is it me though? Like, is it representative of me? Does it match the theme of the stream? So I might redo them. I might draw them. But I don't have much emoji slots anyway. I don't have many channel point redemption stuff. I need to make one for Draw Me a Mushroom. That's one that I haven't done yet. That'll do. That's a thin line because we don't really want it drawing any attention. Just need to connect that a little bit better. There we go. It's up to you, I think they look great. I need to relearn how to draw hair and close folds again. Oh man, are you kidding? I do not know. I don't like. Look how clumsy this is. That's not good. Like I am not the person to learn that kind of stuff from. I need to learn it as well. I used to be able to do drapery really well. So like dresses that flow, curtains that fall down. I used to be able to do that really well. But when it comes to jeans that someone's wearing, if someone's in like a dynamic pose and they've got an outfit on that some of it is one type of material, some of it is another type of material, like that's very difficult. Like if you've got like a, let's say you've got like a started. Oh, this is from Frozen. Oh, look at that, just caught that. So if you've got like a female. Sorry, whenever I draw females, I always draw them with big hips because I really like big hips on females. Like the hard part for me is the drapery. So if they've got like a top on them, like if they've got like a tight top underneath, well, yes, I did pick the most difficult pose I possibly could have thought of. If they've got like a tight top, then the tight top underneath, it's going to have lines that go in like this. Because it's tight. Sure thing. Might be slightly looser down at the bottom here, but it's mostly tight here, which means you would do like something like that, and then the insides would be like something like that. You see, you create that like tight concertina thing, and then if they have like something drapey over the top, that's where it ends up getting a bit funky for me. It's like where they've got like. So like they've got like a loose top with a loose fabric. That's where I start to lose it. Because that would be like, okay, so the tight point would be here, which means that that would like flow down that way, wouldn't it? And then the tight point would be like here and here. So they would have lines going this way and then this way. But that doesn't make sense, this one, because the tight point is actually all along this bit. And then the tight point's kind of like up there. So they would flow down probably that way. Am I just chatting shit? Like, is any of this making sense? Like, it's really, I find it really, really difficult to do. Ironically enough, didn't draw that many females when I was doing my when I was doing a lot of my kink commissions. Very, very much grounded in the gay community, I think. But anyway, let's get rid of that. We got distracted there. That was a lovely distraction. Thanks very much. You get mired in it, don't you? Watching the way that I problem solve is genuinely wonderful. Oh, thank you. What a lovely compliment there. That's the kind of shit that you've got to do at the sketch phase. So that's the stuff that we did on Winston to get him to this point. Is want to see what I'm working on? Sure. Sure. Always happy to do so. There we go. Don't show on stream, no problem, I don't have a browser window that I open up on stream. Thank you for the warning. Ooh, Discord attachment. Is this going to end up being like a virus? Oh, a bunny girl! I like her bum. Oh, I understand. So it's kind of like a sheer, it's a sheer skirt that she's holding up. Ah. I'm just going to draw some general shapes. So if you're... It's good arm placement there. Let's just cap that off. Just taking off the bunny outfit. So the elbow... And then she'd have a wrist, like the wrist is what is dropping there. She's holding, so this is the cloth, right? So she's wearing something up to there. So the tension point is here where her hand is. She doesn't actually have any other tension there. Unless her other arm is holding the other side, like back there somewhere. So the low point for the drapery, depending on how tightly she's holding it, might be somewhere around here. And then it would go around the back. It would wrap there because that's causing tension if she's pulling it on the other side. If not, it would be like down here. So all of the tension will just be pulling from this direction to there. Oh no. Oh dear. Oh, I think my Photoshop might have died. 1 second. Try restarting the Cintiq. Maybe my Photoshop died because it was like, ugh. It's like talking to Twitch, like, no, don't draw that, how dare you? Gosh, fingers crossed. Yes, it's moving. Okay, so we'll save that first. What a reminder to save. We'll call that Winston Skater with a hint of Bunny Girl. Fingers crossed it's saved. Yeah, I've just saved it now. Oh my god, could you imagine all of that work? I need like a channel point reward for remember to save. So yeah, you've got a tension point here, potentially if that's where the other hand is. Main tension point is going to be here, so the gather would be under, kind of like, it will be rolled up here. You'd have quite a lot of gathering here. And then remember that the tension point is never going to go higher than the bump. The miscellaneous bump, which is maybe a part of an anatomy, may not be, because we're not drawing an anatomy, are we? Oh, fair. Oh god, idea. I need to drink something. Put some water in this old withered husk. If I could give you any advice, thank you for redeeming that, by the way, Thesh. I haven't hydrated for a while. Thank you. Thank you for being the custodian of my health. One thing which, if I could give you some advice, the Dark World, is pay attention to the wrist. It's very easy to forget that that's part of the arm. And yeah, I would probably just, so for this side here, where I have all these arrows, which are incredibly helpful, let's just get rid of those. For this side here, it would just be a case of in, out, in, out, in, out. It would be like, that's where the material's crumpled. So draw like a wiggly line. For sketching, draw like just a wiggly line like that, and then try and get those lines to make sense. Or you can do it the other way around. You can start drawing triangles like that, and then connect the triangles together, and then eventually you've kind of constructed that wiggly line. But yeah, that's what I did with Winston here. You just draw a wiggly line, and then you have the folds make sense. And then on this side, have like one. So see here, I've got like one primary grab, which is what the hand is doing, and then everything else is going under or into that grab. So if you want, completely cover your drawing with these lines, like completely cover it so that it makes sense, and then start to rub some of them out like that, so that it's not just covered with lines. Rub out the ones that make sense to you, I'd say. And then don't be afraid to have like an outlier, because that's how material goes, right? Like it's not always going to be the same, so don't be afraid to just have maybe like one bit that's loose, like falling under a little bit. You see how you can just, oh, I didn't grip that as well. But remember, the state of the material is, anything that's sheer is actually really fun to work with, because what you end up doing, if I change the flow of my brush to like, actually no, let's work with opacity. Let's simplify things, work with opacity. If I change my opacity to like 18, I'll change my brush size. I can't actually see my brush, so this doesn't help. But say you have like a flat level of sheer, right? So the sheer goes up to this part where she actually has her knickers, and then goes down to there. That's level 1 sheer, right? Level 2 sheer is where those gathers are going to be. So level 2 is there, and then definitely this gather here, and then maybe this gather a little bit more, but we'll leave that bottom one, right? Because that's level 1. Level 3 is going to be everywhere where it is, plus slightly less, like where that level 3 is going to be. Level 4 can be, oh, there's definitely more in there somewhere, like where it's gathered up like that, and you're building up that sheer so that the colour that's underneath, if I was to give her a skin tone underneath, oh, it's locked, that's why. Change that opacity back. So her skin tone is going to show under that sheer. See what I mean? Like, kind of hard to describe when I'm just doing it quick and dirty like that, but you get these beautiful areas where you can see the sheer colour without the skin tone underneath, and it kind of gives a little bit like this bit if you look at there and then look at here, and then I forgot to do the bit that's in her hand, but you get those moments that help define the fact that it's a sheer. Hi Chris, we're not drawing butts. Before anyone asks, welcome back to the stream. Before anyone asks, we aren't drawing butts. We definitely aren't drawing a lady hitching her skirt up, because that would get me banned from Twitch. So we're not drawing that. We're just drawing miscellaneous shapes that could possibly look like something, but certainly are not something. Vamp said hi. She's beside me drying her hair. Hi Vamp. Oh, you missed stuff that would definitely be within your wheelhouse. We are not drawing butts. Twitch. Do you get that, Twitch? This is not a butt. This is just a mannequin. We're drawing a mannequin. A buttless mannequin. A mannequin that was unfortunately born without a butt. We're actually drawing Winston. We've just sidelined into butt to help someone out. Anyway, I hope that helps you, the Dark World, and anyone else who happens to be looking and thinking, how do I do drapery? I did that on one layer, so I'm going to have to delete it all now. But I'll screen cap it if you want it for reference. I shall wait. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Delete it. And then I'll just get rid of that layer, because that was a temporary layer anyway. I still have this over here. Whoops. Are you ready for Diamond Extreme today? I didn't screen cap. I didn't screen cap it. Oh, don't worry. It'll be. I'm ending at 2. Oh gosh, 5 minutes. Well, we'll call it 10 minutes. I'll be ending the stream in about 10 minutes, and then the VOD will be available, so you can watch on the VOD. Quick and dirty tips. You know what I should do? I should do like a new stream series, which is just quick and dirty tips by Sai, where I just draw butts all day, every day. All day butts? Now I have to remember what my brush size was. I think it was 8. Not 811. 8. Yeah, that looks about right. I normally use brush size of 8. You should be stream teaching. Thank you. I shall take that as a compliment. Well, I think, see, this is why I like watching art streams, is that something that comes naturally to me. Like, there's loads of shit that I don't know how to do. I actually watch a lot of animation streams and painting streams and stuff like that, because that's the stuff that I can't do very well, and I want to learn from the people who can do it. I watched a guide for it, and it looks crazy. I'm kind of scared to do the regular when I get to it. I can't wait. So to answer your question, Vamp, I am very excited to do Diamond Extreme. At least to get started with it. I love the swapping platforms mechanic. That's going to be so good to do. It's too late to change the clothes, but next time I'm doing something like this, I will use your advice. I think a lot more advice for me with this kind of image is to have fun with the sketch phase. Like, spend a bit of time. So just to show you, this is where we started with the Winston sketch. What I was going to do was just do a bunch of different skins and see which one I wanted, like which one had legs, which one did I want to carry on. So I made a mannequin, I made a maquette, which is a base Winston, and then I drew the skin over the top of the maquette. So I'd say, like, draw different poses. I tend to do stuff like this. So if I'm drawing someone, say I'm drawing like Tracer, then I would start off with, like, okay, draw her like, I want her line of symmetry to be like this. So I would draw her, well, she's like this, and then her hips would be that way, and then she's got one leg up and possibly down, and then that means her other leg needs to be slightly forward and then back like this, and then she will have a gun down there, like that. And then this one might be down here, and then up here, like this. And I'll start, okay, right, that's one. What else do I want to do? Okay, next one, I want to do a line of symmetry, which is more akin to this. So she's going to be down on the ground a little bit. We're just going to be down here. Oh, Angel Interceptor! Oh my god, Angel, you just missed me drawing a butt! Arties, is that in reference to me doing some sophisticated art? Thank you so much for the stream, Angel. I managed to lurk into your well, I caught DuckTales. I love watching you play DuckTales. You're such a pro at it now. Arteries. Oh, is that because I had cake for breakfast this morning? So thank you for mentioning my arteries there. F in chat for my arteries because I had like a creamy Swiss roll for breakfast. Welcome to the chat, everybody. How was it? How was did you carry on with DuckTales or did you switch to something else? If anyone's not following Angel Interceptor, Angel does retro gaming speedruns, a little bit of GeoGuessr, and honestly just like a really lovely atmosphere in her chat. She's so cool. So I mean everyone who's in the chat now probably already follows Angel Interceptor, but if you don't, follow Angel Interceptor. We got sidelined by doing a bit of art school actually. We switched to the SMW level Ellie made. I was frustrated. Oh, I popped into it. I got confused actually. Queen Eliana's 12-hour stream, I thought that it was today, which is why I was saying, oh, I'll pop in when I can, because obviously I'm streaming all day today. But I didn't realise it was yesterday, so I managed to pop in for little bits of it, but I ended up I had like a bad headache yesterday, so I didn't see all of it. It looks really interesting, the way in which you can make a ROM hack. Like, it seems a lot more visual. Whenever I hear, like, ROM hack, I always think in my head someone's sitting there editing code, like, green text on a black screen. That always strikes me as being something that would happen, but it seemed like a very visual thing, almost like a visual editor. So we are, for everyone who's just popping into the channel, we are inking this drawing of Winston. I was going to end relatively soon, but I'll probably stick on for a little bit longer. If you guys want to hang out and we can do some drawing. I was just doing some quick sketching tips actually, just in regards to we've got somebody in chat who was asking questions about, you know, how to do folds in clothing and stuff like that. So we ran through a few things of that, and just some general advice from me is to, before you start an illustration, if you're going to do some drawing, have fun with the sketch phase, because that's where all the magic happens. See this with Winston, I was just explaining. We started with a maquette, which is like a basic outline of the character, the shape of the character. This is a character from Overwatch, which I often play on the stream. So we started with that, and we were going to just do a bunch of outfits, and then we absolutely fell in love with the first outfit. I say I fell in love with the first outfit, Skater Boy Winston, which is why I've decided to ink it and colour it. But yeah, we started with like different poses, and we started with just having Winston sketched a few different times. And I was just saying, if I was to do Tracer in the same way, I might sketch Tracer out as like a little bit of something else. It doesn't have to be anatomically correct at this point, because you can just be like, okay, do I like that shape? No, I'm not so sure about that shape. Well, let's draw some other. So we'll just like carry on like that. Is this Little Mermaid music on piano? Yes, it is. We've switched over to the Disney Piano Collection playlist. I normally have the Ghibli Piano Collection on, but we've done an hour and a half, which is how long that collection is, so now we've gone into the Disney one. It's little Winston! It's Winston! Yeah, Skater Boy Winston. So yeah, anyone who, if you're drawing and you're getting a little bit stuck, like getting mired into it, then start with some fun sketches, and then what you can do after you've done a fun sketch and you're like, actually I really like the look of this one, okay, well, snatch it, make it bigger, see if you can turn that sketch into something which is a little bit more refined. Maybe like reduce the opacity and then sketch over the top of it. Just have fun with it, because you never have to marry your first idea. You never have to marry your first idea. Thank you for putting stickers on the stream. By the way, those stickers are free for subs. and they're all made on the stream. So you can see here, actually I was showing off the stickers earlier, so now is a good time to show them off again. We've got to put, this is the memorial sticker that we made for His Royal Highness, Prince Philip, the poor passing of him. So there is a memorial Prince Philip sticker in the sticker pack. We've got a bear stuffed with cash. Some of these stickers are actually inspired by drawings from our Saturday social gaming. Oh, by the way, this is just my Streambot account. I will follow again on your main. No problem. I understand if you've had a Twitch ban, there's nothing you can do about it. Don't worry about that, the Dark World. Let me know when you follow me and who you are on your main account, and I'll follow you back, because I'm always interested in following out streamers. And any streamers. I'll follow anyone. I'm a whore when it comes to following. Yeah, so all of these are made on the stream. Oh, look! I can line it up first. I can't turn it, though. Well, I could, actually. Stickerception! How cool is that? Thanks for the follow, Est. Welcome aboard. Are you following me because I said I'd follow anyone? So yeah, we've got a bunch of stickers on the stream. We're going to keep adding to them, but I need people to start spending bits. Apparently there's like a bits limit where people have to spend a certain amount of bits and then it unlocks more slots for the stickers, so I might need to make them not free soon. I have so many nerdy questions about equipment and software. I used to draw and create a lot, but I never got the hang of it digitally. Oh my word, are you kidding? Like, so, hang on. Have a look at this. This is my Cintiq. Look at the, so the Cintiq is a special drawing tablet. So what you see here is what you can see on the screen. And I have my little pen and my glove, which I interface. Oh, sorry. Which I interface with the screen. I have it attached to a movable arm. So this is just a normal like computer monitor arm that I can kind of move around. As you can see here, sorry, I've had to jerry rig one of them clamps. It's like a clamp monitor for a monitor that doesn't have a it doesn't have bolting screws to it. So I've clamped it in and I've shoved a soundproofing foam tile to the underside of it to kind of wedge it at the front. And that's it. That's all I've done. And this tablet is about 8 years old, so it's probably cheap by now. It's a Cintiq 13 HD. And the screen has a slight tooth on it, so it feels like it's drawing on paper. It's not just like drawing on a tablet screen, which is pretty cool. I spent a lot of money on this. I actually spent my final loan that I got from uni, and that's how old it is. My final loan from uni. I spent all of it on this. It was like 700 odd quid or something, like 800 quid or something. And it paid for itself within the first year with the work that I got. And that I managed to, the illustration work that I managed to do. But they're way cheaper than that now. I actually, at my last job, they asked me to price up a cheap drawing tablet so that I could do some of my illustrations in work. And I was a designer at the time, I wasn't an illustrator. But they liked my illustrations, so they were like, yeah, we'll get you a tablet. Which is where I got the glove from. The X Pen is not the same as the Wacom thing, but I stole the glove when I left my last job. Yeah, I lost my train of thought. So yeah, you can get a bigger screen than this, which is a lot easier to attach for like 300 quid. And they're even cheaper than that, to be honest. You don't need a massive screen, especially if you're just getting into it. But hey, if you ever wanted to get into it, just every weekend in the afternoons I do my art streams, and we do something or anything. We'll do stickers. We've done painting before. We've got a painting. We've got a painting that we're working on. What is it? Oh, did you see the comic that we did? We made a comic on stream. So this is a Legend of Zelda inspired comic. I think we did this over 2 sessions. I think we did it relatively quickly, didn't we? I'll just leave that to your imagination. I love drawing faces. Does the software come preloaded on the tablet? No, so the way that the tablet works is it's a monitor that attaches to your computer. So it just plugs into your system. There's this wire here. You see it in the thumbnail there. That's just, that wire has a USB, a HDMI, and a plug attached to it. And that's all and it just goes into one wire which goes into the Cintiq for me. Huion 22 is a 22-inch screen and can sometimes come down to around 320 if you struggle with smaller screens. Perfect. The reason why I'm okay with a 13 HD is because it's on the arm, I can get really close to it. Now obviously it means that there's a lot of audio reflection from the microphone, but yeah, I can get as close as I need to with it. Which, if you think of the relative size of a large screen, if you can put your face closer to it, then it's a big screen. So you don't need to worry about it. Also, you don't necessarily need to because you can zoom. So the software that you've got, you can always kind of zoom in. Yeah, so that's a comic. That's the stickers. That's Winston. What else? We were working on a Limsa sketch, but I didn't carry on with that. Also, if you build up enough channel points, you can redeem Draw Me a Mushroom. So this is a mushroom that we did on stream for Thirst, because Thirst redeem those channel points, so you can get a lovely mushroom if you want to. It's always a quick thing. Don't expect like this really grand Monet of a mushroom. It's not gonna happen. Other than that, we just kind of enjoy the music and chat and have a hang. I might switch back to the Ghibli. I prefer the Ghibli. As long as you all don't mind. You love your mushroom. I love your mushroom. I was quite impressed at how quickly I was able to draw that mushroom. There we go. Got some Ghibli music back on. Sorry for anyone who's hearing this again, but I much prefer this music. Right, where are we up to with Winston? So, let's do the last sleeve. Oh, is Queen Eliana in chat? I don't really know. I can't see. No, damn. I wanted to see how his stream went yesterday. How was doing it, Angel, if you're still there, how was doing the stream together? I know you guys had worked out so that you'd both be on the same screen. How did it go? Or anyone in chat who was there to see it. I'm curious to know. Because I always love collaboration amongst streamers. That's actually not big enough. What size was my brush last time? 10? Was it a 10? That seems far too thick. Bam, must be an 8 maybe. No, it just wasn't 8. Let's try somewhere in between. Let's try a 9. Nah, it's an 8 for sure. I just wasn't pressing down hard enough. Oh, the opacity's too low. There we go. See? You've seen all my dirty laundry now. We're doing some nice wonky lines. I love a wonky line. As Thirst says, it's my aesthetic. I like lines that go from thick to thin, especially when it means I don't have to tidy them up. I will tidy that bit up. I managed to watch the first part of the joint Mario stream. It was great fun. Very good setup from a technical perspective as well. Oh, that's cool. Fun to watch. They worked out the tech well to show both of them on screen. That's awesome. I'm so glad it worked out. It was good to miss it. I think I was having a bit of a bad head day yesterday, so I just kept my head down and played some games instead. You know those days where you just can't really deal with people? Even when they're really lovely people. Which I'm really glad of, that I had like a quiet day yesterday, because now I'm so excited for my social stream later. Which, if anyone who isn't aware, on Saturdays I do a social gaming stream, which is, you know, might start off with a bit of Final Fantasy, but then go into Jackbox, Among Us. I really want to try some remote play stuff. Those days do happen. Yeah, I'm so glad that people kind of understand. You get a lot more uptake and understanding of those things, and like, I'm quite an extrovert, but you also have to be conscious of your mental health, I think. There we go. Yeah, your own well-being always comes first. Yeah, I'd say that to anyone as well. And I think that in general, like, streamers, the streamers that I know and the people that I enjoy, they look after themselves in that way, which is very... No, I don't like that. It's very nice to see. It's very nice to see an openness to say, like, actually, today needs to be a bit of a me day today. That's what we gotta do. Gotta look after numero uno. And it's nice to get people in chat who kind of understand that as well. Which I think we probably have like a lot of crossover with different streamers that I watch, and I imagine you guys know what I'm talking about, but I get the impression that everyone's just there to support each other, which is jolly nice. It's the way it should be. That's one of the reasons why I didn't do my social stream last week. I mean, A, I was kind of a little bit burnt out, but B, I was also aware that Red was doing their birthday charity stream, and we share quite a large audience, I think. Well, not in the sense of I have as many people watching me as Red does, but more in the sense of people who watch Red tend to also watch me. And I wouldn't want someone to have to choose between who to watch or not watch. So it seemed like a good time for me to have a bit of a break. The lines on the cuff are going to be furthest apart at this point. Zoe, if you ever wanted to get into drawing, or get into digital drawing, it's just like normal drawing, the best time to do it is now. Yeah, but this together now. And you've always got people like me who can help you out. Yeah, that'll do. I'm most conscious of what detail I put in the ink and what detail I want to reserve for the colour, because I absolutely adore colour work. I want to show a little bit of bulging on the glove here, so I'm going to do what I suggested earlier and just put a couple of zigzags in. And he has a hairy hand, does Winston, so let's stick some hair out there. There we go. Winston's a thick, hairy boy. And then these grooves, they might be all you need to show that there's a cloth gather there. You might not need to put some lines in. Sometimes you can, but might not be necessary. Especially, I'm imagining these are going to be quite dark gloves, possibly black, so I might not put anything there on the assumption that there probably isn't going to be enough contrast to add a shadow. Because at this point, that's what you've got to be conscious of is, okay, what's going to be 3D? What are you going to see? That's why some of these lines are disappearing and some of them aren't, because I'm going to actually get that definition from the colour work that I'm going to do. Oh, that's a bit weird, that one. We had to redo his hands earlier. Not his whole hands, just a little bit. Down here, just kind of reshape them a little bit so that they look a bit more like hands. And less like cartoons. As I was saying before, gorillas have these really nice... We did some sketching. Where did I put my gorilla sketches? Can't remember. Do I have them in here? Oh, did I put it on the Winston? So if I go to Winston.psd, did I actually use this? Yeah, doodles. Haha, that's funny. I am absolutely shocking for recycling when it comes to Photoshop. But we did some ape sketches before we drew Winston. Just to make sure that we had monkeys down. And you see here, I'm not sure if you can, it's kind of like a blue thing. See here. Oh. It's locked. Which is a locked layer. See here? They have like these really lovely, like chunky fingers. Where their knuckles are at this small point, like here, it gets like way bigger than it does on like humans. They almost look like they're wearing leather gloves, which translates directly into, and also this, you know, where they've got their hands as feet, where they've got like a thumb, like a opposable thumb instead of a big toe. That's the other thing which is going to make this a bit tricky. But these hands for sure, if you look at how these hands are, if you imagine this hand wearing a fingerless glove, the fact that the finger is so much larger than like the portal of the glove, it doesn't have to make sense because obviously we're not in product design, so we don't have to make it go, well, how will this ape get his finger into the glove? You know, it's kind of like when you see computer game characters that have big heads and small bodies, and they wear a shirt that has a very small neck opening. And you're like, how did they get that shirt over that massive head? That thought comes into my head all the time, even though I know full well I do not need to justify. Like nobody needs to justify how the working of that character is, like how that character gets their shirt on. But yeah, we're not going to be thinking in terms of how is Winston going to get these gloves on, but we are going to have to think in terms of how are these gloves going to appear. And still him still have those gorilla hands, those lovely fat gorilla hands. You only need to worry about it if you want to cosplay it. Yeah, fair, absolutely fair. And then you need to figure out how you're going to make a giant head. Also, gorillas don't have particularly hairy fingers, I don't think, from what I looked. Whenever the Cintiq moves, it's a pain in the bum. I did cheat here. Because gorillas do have like tiny thumbs. Which is what I've given Winston. I've given him a tiny thumb. But I think the part of their palm, like if you think about a palm as like a normal human hand has like this to it. It's more square on the hand. And then you've got this part of the thumb here. And then you've got fingers, and they go up and then down like that. So you've got 1, 2, 3, like that. So like normal human hand, and then this bit over here might be more or less curved, and then it attaches to an arm like that. But a gorilla hand is like longer. So it's a bit too close. A gorilla hand has like longer palm like this. And their thumb is a lot more sticky out like that, like it has like a larger amount there. And then they have these lovely fat fingers. And again, they're like come around like this. So like the gorilla palm is a lot longer, which you can see here on the Winston. Like his hand goes down here like that. Same with there, it's like you can imagine his hand has gone all the way down there, and all of that is the length of their hand, like all the way. But I gave him a relatively, in terms of monkeys, I gave him a relatively smaller thumb. Like he doesn't have like this really large thumb, so I humanized his thumb a little bit. Get rid of you. I'm not sure if I want to draw nails on him. They'd be like, I hate drawing nails. Absolutely hate drawing nails. And that's just me not being a good enough artist and avoiding what I don't want to do. There. I'm cheating a little bit, but oh well. And I'm purposefully doing these thicker lines because I want people to see these hands. Like, hands are notoriously difficult to draw. So because we spent ages getting them right, I want people to have a look at them. And I'm still not 100% sure they're right, to be honest. Especially when the Cintiq keeps moving. Oh, right, it's difficult perspective because his knuckle is there. There we go. Well, it'll do. It'll do for now. Let's go on to the next ones and not worry about it. Everyone in animated shirts has zips in the back of their shirts. Oh, fair. Animated shows has zips in the back of their shirts. Is what I meant to say. Just what you said. How much of that knuckle you would actually see. Also, that line goes far too low. That's me trying to be smart and being like, oh, I obviously sketched that wrong. It wouldn't have a groove either. That's me trying to be clever when the shape itself is very simple. What am I like? And I don't know enough about the detail of an ape's knuckle, you know, like here, where I've put those lines, like these tiny lines here. I don't know enough about that to add detail to these just yet, so I'll have to have a think about that. That'll do. Highlight, that'll do. Oh, we missed a bit. Look at that. What'd you give me? There. I'm not sure about the pocket on the hoodie. I'm going to leave that for a bit, see if it gels with me. Righto, and I think actually I probably need to end the stream because I need to get some dinner before we do some raiding. So what we're going to do, we'll leave it there. We'll pick it up tomorrow afternoon. I'm very happy with the progress we made, and we're going to raid into JAM so that you guys can get some channel points, and eventually purchase the Draw Me a Mushroom thing. Because obviously that's what we want to get towards, right? This one, all the mushrooms. I enjoyed watching, thank you. No problem, Zoe. Like I say, we're going to be streaming again tomorrow. We'll be doing our social gaming stream, which I think you popped into the last time we were there, and you had a good time with it, so come along again. We'll be doing that this evening from about 8ish, and then tomorrow afternoon, probably from around 12, before Sloth does his Shout Cinema Sunday, we'll try and finish off this inking and get some flat colours down, and maybe start doing a little bit of painting. Sounds good. So we'll raid into Jay. Jay's playing Pokemon Heart Gold and Soul Silver, which I am eager to eavesdrop on. So that's what we shall do. Thanks very much for sticking around, guys. And we shall raid. I'll click the raid button. Start raid. Gosh, isn't technology marvellous? And once everyone's ready, we shall do a raid. Okay. Big love, everybody. Bye.